Welcome to Mythosium, the channel where we explore the science behind the mysteries that shape human experience. Today we're tackling a question that almost everyone has felt, yet few truly understand. Why does life seem to speed up as we age? Why does childhood feel long and endless, while adulthood can feel as if weeks, months, or even years slip away almost unnoticed? It's one of the deepest questions about human perception, and answering it requires diving into psychology, neuroscience, memory formation, attention, emotion, and even the physics-inspired metaphors scientists have used to describe the nature of subjective time. The experience of time is not simply about clocks. Clocks measure physical duration, but human beings measure time through perception. And perception is fluid, influenced by countless factors. Time is not just something we observe. It is something we construct inside our minds. One of the first clues comes from observing how children experience the world. When young, every day brings new experiences. Learning to walk, learning to speak, discovering objects, encountering new foods, absorbing social cues, experiencing first friendships, navigating emotions, all of these are novel. Novelty plays a powerful role in time perception because the brain encodes new events with a high density of neural activity. When something is unfamiliar, the brain devotes more attention to it, forming richer memory traces. This high density of encoded information makes those periods feel long in retrospect. The brain looks back and sees a vast landscape of memories, and so the time feels full. Childhood summers feel endless, not because they lasted longer in physical time, but because the mind stored them in extraordinary detail. As people age, the world becomes more familiar. The brain becomes more efficient, an advantage for survival, but a challenge for time perception. When the brain recognizes patterns, it compresses experience. Routine reduces the need for deep encoding, and the days begin to blend together. When adult life becomes predictable, less information is stored from each passing day. Looking back, it seems shorter because there is simply less cognitive content anchoring those days in memory. This mechanism has been supported by psychological experiments showing that novelty stretches perceived time, while routine compresses it. When adults travel to a new country, navigate unfamiliar streets, or try activities they have never done before, time feels slower. The same number of days filled with new stimuli produces a subjective expansion of experience. But novelty is only one piece of the puzzle. Emotion also plays a crucial role in shaping the perception of time. High-intensity emotional states, whether fear, excitement, or surprise, dramatically alter internal timing. Experiments with individuals who have strong fear reactions, such as people with arachnophobia, demonstrate that looking at a fear-inducing stimulus causes them to significantly overestimate how long the event lasted. In situations of extreme stress or danger, people often report that time seems to slow down. The brain enters a heightened state of attention, capturing more details and pushing neural circuits into faster, more energy-intensive firing patterns. Interestingly, studies examining people in high adrenaline situations, such as free-falling during skydiving, show similar effects. Although participants do not literally experience events in slow motion, they recall the event as lasting longer because the brain stores more information per second. This high density of memory creates the illusion of stretched time. These observations reveal a deeper truth. Time is tightly bound to attention. When attention is sharp, focused, engaged, or emotionally activated, subjective time expands. When attention drifts, dissipates, or becomes divided, subjective time contracts. Moments of intense engagement, such as mastering a new skill, solving a complex problem, or deeply immersing in meaningful work, are remembered as vivid and expansive. Conversely, periods of boredom or repetitive routine leave few memories and therefore shrink in retrospective perception. There is even a special cognitive state known as flow, where individuals become so absorbed in an activity that they lose track of external time altogether. Artists, athletes, researchers, and musicians often describe this experience. During flow, attention is so fully allocated to the task that the brain performs timekeeping differently. Hours may pass, but the experience feels shorter. This is yet another example of how subjective time can stretch or compress depending on mental state. Memory is central to this process. In many ways, humans do not perceive time directly. They perceive the amount of memory created within a period. More memory equals more perceived time. Less memory equals less perceived time. This is why years in childhood seem long and single days in adulthood sometimes blur together. The next piece of the puzzle comes from neuroscience. Time perception does not arise from a single clock in the brain. Instead, it emerges from distributed networks of neurons across multiple regions. Different senses have their own timing systems. Fertilization perceives events in one temporal frame, hearing in another, and tactile perception in yet another. The brain integrates these signals to create a coherent experience of time. In experiments where portions of a rat's neocortex were removed, the rat still exhibited the ability to judge durations and intervals. Another theory suggests that as people age, metabolism slows, neural firing rates decrease, and the overall processing speed of the brain changes. A younger brain may process more information per second, making each second feel fuller. As neural efficiency increases with age, the brain may compress information more aggressively. Even though adults experience the same physical duration, the brain may be representing that time with fewer units of internal change. There is also a social factor. Children experience time with fewer obligations, more opportunities for exploration, and more unstructured play. Adults navigate work schedules, responsibilities, and routines. The sameness of daily structure creates reduced variability, which compresses time in memory. When days look similar, they are encoded similarly, and retrospective time shrinks dramatically. This is why people often describe long work weeks but short years. Many adults experience a paradox where the days feel slow, but the years feel fast. This can happen because each individual day might feel routine or uneventful, but when looking back, entire months or years lack distinctive memory markers. Without those markers, the brain collapses the timeline, and long periods feel shorter. All this leads to a powerful insight. Subjective time accelerates as we age because the mental processes that govern how we store, interpret, and recall events change dramatically over the course of life. Childhood is filled with novelty, emotional intensity, and rapid learning. The adult world is filled with routine, efficiency, and repetition. However, this also implies something hopeful. If routine compresses time, then novelty expands it. When adults intentionally seek new experiences, traveling, learning new skills, building new habits, their perception of time slows. More memories are created. More mental anchors are formed. This is why vacations often feel long at the beginning, but short at the end. The early days are filled with novelty and exploration. The later days become familiar. This aligns with the broader understanding that time, to humans, is experiential. It is created by the brain, not merely observed by it. Its flexibility reveals how much of human experience is shaped internally rather than externally. The sense that life speeds up with age is not a malfunction. It is a natural outcome of cognitive efficiency, reduced novelty, and shifting memory dynamics. Here at Mythosium, we explore questions like this because they reveal the intricate connections between the brain, the world, and the flow of human experience. If you enjoy understanding the hidden mechanisms behind everyday life, be sure to subscribe.